Guys, what's up? This is Angel and I'm hanging here with the Taz Taylor Band. Hey guys.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah? Cool. So for those who are new to the Taz Taylor Band at home, so who are you and what do you do in the band?
Well, I'm Graham, and I'm the singer.
No introduction. Straight Bonnet, everybody.
And I'm Bob. I'm the keyboard player.
I'm Taz, guitar player.
Dirk, I play the bass.
Al, drums.
Wicked. So how did the band form? Who'd like to answer that?
I did an instrumental CD called Caffeine Racer in 2004, and then put the band together after that so I could go out and play gigs to promote it.
Very cool.
And so that was why it was formed, and that's why it was called what it was.
Yeah. So how did you find each other?
I found Bob through an ad in a local paper in San Diego, and I had a different bass player and drummer, and we played the first show, and it's kind of a funny story. Do you want to tell that story, Dirk?
Yeah.
Well, I was actually friends over the internet with the girl who runs our website,
Alright.
Batsy, and she put me in touch with Taz's band, said, hey, you got to get out there, they're playing close by. So I turned up at the show. Next thing I know, I'm signing their guest book telling them what a great show it was, and I told them that if you ever need a substitute bass player, give me a ring, and the next day, sure enough, the phone rang, and the rest is history.
Yeah. He showed up like about 10 days later. He knew every song on the album.
Wow.
And then some. We share the same record collection.
Yeah.
That's cool. Taz, how do you think the audiences differ from America to Europe?
I think the audience is in the US. It's more trend oriented, and they just swallow whatever they're fed to a degree.
Right.
And I think that the rest of the world a little less trend conscious and will go with what they like. So the kind of music that we do is not exactly in fashion in the US. Even though there might be like a little bit coming back up, but not as much as here in the UK and the rest of Europe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Craig Goddy is the guitar player for Dio, and I know Nibs is in the same situation now. Would you say it's weird, kind of like you're playing with your idols, because you've got like inspirations, from let's just say Rainbow, Michael Schenker, whatever, So what's it like, playing with your idols?
It's definitely weird playing with Graham, yeah. That was the only answer, wasn't it? No, it is.
Graham, well, would you say that you're more directed to classic rock and stuff like that, but do you think that your audience is now appealing to the second and third generation?
Possibly, but that's not my choice. That's just the way things are right now, But I think it's quite. The audiences I've been playing to over the past 3 or 4 years has been very varied. I've signed autographs for little 8-year-old kids and up to 80-year-old people. And it's kind of worrying when you see Rainbow fans in wheelchairs, but that's just the way it is. And there's a few people here, I think, that walking up and down Seafront with the silver grey hair and Rainbow fans. Well, they're Michael Schenker fans. I'm not sure, but it's. I think it's just very hard right now for it to cross over the generation thing. But I find that in the States a little bit it's coming around where that the kids are now sort of learning or listening to stuff that their mums and dads listen to.
I'm one of them.
Well, my son, for instance, he's 25 and he likes what I do, which is very surprising because I'm in the house all day. You think he'd be bored with everything I did, but he really likes rock music. He likes Whitesnake, but then he goes into this other area that is a very grey area for me because I know nothing about all this other stuff, which I really don't like. It's kind of punky stuff, or hip hop and all that kind of thing, which I find very monotonous and very boring. But parts of it are really good to use as an element for new music, I think. You can always take from everybody, no matter what they are, who they are, what kind of music they do. I think it's always interesting to take something from the kids, because they're there. They're the kids. Kids are rock and rollers from the time they're about 10. I think. I was. And that's you should always listen. But sometimes I block it out. I'll admit that because I think I've heard it before.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, isn't that? But with a bit more distortion or something, whatever. But it's
Brilliant. Val, as well as your drumming, you're also like a sound techie guy. What is it like working both sides of the stage?
It's a lot more work running sound.
because they have to lug all the gear and all that. I actually met Bob about 6 months before ever meeting Taz or anyone else in the band, because he had some PA cabinets that I bought off him before I was even involved in the project. But once I knew him and I heard of the availability, I scooped it up, as it were.
Yeah, but don't you like sometimes find yourself like you want to step in or whatever?
As far as running sound?
Yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
No, we want to keep it.
Yeah, it's just something I did for fun and enjoyment, you know. I mean, but it itself is it's a lot of work, you know, alone. So I'd much rather play.
That's cool. Derek, you just said before that you contacted Taz Taylor saying, look, if you ever need a bassist, then here I am. Would you ever think, like, when you were posting that you'd be here in England?
Yeah, I mean, I was hopeful of it. I loved the music right away, and it had, as I said before, some of the same flavorings that I grew up with. So, I mean, you only limit yourself, so why not shoot for the stars? And, you know, here we are, and it's been a load of fun. So, I mean, that's the goal of any musician starting out, is to play and tour, and, you know, so why not us? Why not me, right?
All right. Bob, you just come from Scotland. How did it go?
It was excellent.
Yeah.
It was a nice room, enthusiastic crowd. It's really nice to hear people down front really clamoring for the music, where we didn't get that too much in San Diego, Southern California area. Only because the different genre there. So, but play with Graham there, that was a lot of fun.
But what about like distances? Because it's like, I mean, it's only 6 hours from my house to get to London, whereas I knew a band once who like travelled 12 hours just to play a gig and go back home. So what do you think about the travelling and stuff?
It's okay. It's a little bit busy. In fact, it can be a little bit of a burden, and you run into complications. But once you go out front, you see the people, the lights are on, all that, it goes past you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in your element.
Wicked.
We escaped the rain, so it was a good try.
That's good. Thank God. What do you think about the internet as a promotional tool?
Oh, the internet?
Yeah, the internet.
I think it's great. I think I was one of the last people to actually get a computer and get onto the internet. But once I did, I think it's fantastic. It brings, you know, whatever your interest is, whether it be music or some kind of sport that's not football or, you know, in the mainstream. You go on the internet and it just brings your whole world right there. You know, it's, if you want to find out what a certain musician or artist is doing, you don't have to wait until they hit your town and the local press picks it up. You can just go look at it, you know, in 30 seconds you're completely clued in. So for us, it has definitely helped.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
it's like
we've gotten,
instant.
yeah, we've gotten a lot of good reviews and a lot of coverage that'll be there long after we're gone. You know, I mean, that stuff just stays up there forever sometimes. And
What about downloading music? I mean, I know some bands like put up one downloadable track, and then if, you know, the person who's downloaded it likes it, then they might go and buy the album. Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know. I'm on both sides of the fence about that, because 2 months before our album was even released, there was 7, 8, 9, 10 different sites that had it up there, and that was extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of sites out there now that still have it, and you know, we put a lot of work, a lot of late nights into that, and for people to just take it and rip it off like that, it's extremely frustrating. Yeah, you want the music to be heard, because it's all about communication. After you've poured your heart into something, you want to think that there's people out there that are going to hear it. But we would have preferred if people had waited till it came out.
Yeah. Is there any bands or artists that you're quite impressed with at the moment? You know, who's upcoming or whatever? You got any band names?
We look like a bunch of jerks if we can't say about anybody.
I'm liking
I'm
some new
still-
stuff. I'm Finland, Sweden, bands like Arion, Nightwish,
Yeah.
bands like that. Yeah, I like a lot of the new stuff coming, but I don't think there's too much happening in America.
Yeah.
But overseas, yeah, I like a lot of the new stuff.
See, I would imagine, like, because America's such a big place, everything's kicking off over there. It sounds like everything's kicking up over Europe.
No, I don't see. You know, it sounds bad when you say it, but most of the stuff I'm listening to, it's the same records that I grew up with. It's very rare that I buy something that's by a new artist. I still buy stuff by the same artists that have been putting records out for 25